The town of Halton Hills issued a press release announcing that Mayor Ann Lawlor has set the direction for the 2026 budget, advising staff that the town's portion of the overall tax increase is not to exceed 3.5%. This morning, I spoke with the mayor about the factors that contributed to this number.
We are looking at a situation of, a fair bit of economic uncertainty, and both on the personal side and on the corporate and institutional side. We're all aware of things that are happening internationally that affect our local budgets. There's no question. So our approach this year was to kind of continue to batten down the hatches, to stick to the kinds of services and programs and maintenance in our community that is absolutely necessary. And so what we were looking at for a tax increase that I hope we can keep inside is 3.5% for town of Halton Hills services. And this means that there won't be a lot of bells and whistles coming up, not a lot of new programs or additional growth, but it is something that we feel is important, that we need to stick to a fairly limited tax increase this year.
Makes total sense. All right, well, let's start talking about some summary things about getting outside here, because Halton Hills Council has formally stated its intention to designate Prospect Park and Fairy Lake as heritage sites. So what protections does this put in place for Prospect Park and Fairy Lake?
Well, this is an interesting one, Jason, because for the first time, or say maybe second time, we're actually designating something that we're calling cultural landscapes. And there is the capacity in provincial legislation to designate trees and designate landforms that are influenced by people, but create a particular kind of setting which is important for us to maintain. And that's the case with Fairy Lake and Prospect Park. There are several important buildings on those landforms that we want to ensure we maintain. There's a lovely old band shell, and there's some gates and so forth dating from the 1920s, close to 100 years old now. And as well, Fairy Lake is actually a mill pond. It was created when a milling industry set up in that area. They dammed the creeks there and created this pond, which is now a jewel actually in Acton, and where people fish and kayak, and it's a great place for bird watching.
Well, you already mentioned fishing right there, and that's where we're going to go for the last one here. Tell me about the Go for the Goby fishing derby that is taking place.
Well, one of the things that I care about a lot, and our council does too, is environmental management and taking care of our trees and our forests and our water and so forth. And it also has an effect on climate change, which we need to pay a lot of attention to. So one of the ways that we're kind of highlighting our environmental management and outdoor education is through a fishing derby that I'm sponsoring this weekend. And what we're trying to hook is something called the round goby, which is a fairly small little fish that has found its way into Fairy Lake somehow. It actually is from the Caspian Sea in Europe.
But wow, that was unexpected, Mayor Lawlor. I did not realize that.
That's right. Well, yes, it has come a long way through, ballast and so forth. And now actually it is sometimes unknowingly transferred in bait buckets. Yes. And so it is illegal to use the round goby for bait in Ontario because it is an invasive fish that competes with our native fish, such as the bass and so forth. And so if people can come to Fairy Lake this weekend and hook a round goby, we have trophies and for all ages. So we're hoping that people come, get rid of some of those round gobies, enjoy the beautiful pond and some fishing, have fun. They're going to be, the anglers and fishers are going to be there. Credit Valley Conservation is going to be there. We're going to have scavenger hunts around the park and so forth. And so it's going to be a fun family day for everybody.